You're watching Toronto Sports Rush on the Bet Rivers Network.
It's Wednesdays with Keegan. Keegan, the champagne has dried. The smoke, I guess they probably had smoke in their after party for the Blue Jays winning the AL East. That has cleared. What was the scene at the Rogers Center? If you did see a scene.
It was a scene. It was a new scene, I guess, for people watching that celebration at home. Probably looked like a clubhouse. It was not. It was kind of a makeshift nightclub that the Blue Jays created. Now, at the bottom level of any stadium around the field is a big, it's almost a perfect circle, this hallway that runs. You can fit a couple of cars wide. It's huge. You get to the clubhouse through there. What the Blue Jays did was just take a chunk of it, 2 big curtains, rubber floor, and they installed a bunch of nightclub lighting, smoke machines, a big disco ball, which I have not seen in a long time. So I get it. Way easier to clean up. It does not trash your clubhouse.
Did they already bring in the high-pressure sprayer?
Oh, yeah. It's been cleaned up. Okay. So I get it. It's easier. It's cleaner for everybody and makes a lot of sense. They could bring in what they wanted. They can get their Instagram pictures, which is what this is all about. But, man, I miss the classic clubhouse celebration, because my dream, Dan, if I succeed in work, is to trash my own workplace. Like if you told me at the end of the year, Keegan, you wrote the best story of the year, my dream would be to just trash the press box, because you're there all the time, no matter how much you like it, no matter how many friends you have there. You're sick of the workplace, right?
But double-edged sword, you also work from home.
This is true. That's tough. But it was different. Maybe this is the way the clubhouse celebrations are going. I hope not. But it was, for how long it lasted, a good party. And lots of beer, lots of champagne. I stayed dry, though. I've learned how to stay out of that stuff.
Yeah. Now, have you seen the players since?
Not since. Now, I saw Bowden Francis, brave man. He did some sort of meet and greet or signing the next day. I would not have booked anything the next day. Maybe he lives a little cleaner than me. We'll see. But that next day would be pretty tough. What was it? Boston, I think. Was it Alex Bregman or Trevor Story was a little late for a practice the next day with flu-like symptoms or something. Right. So it'll get you, especially if you're one of the 35, 38-year-olds on the team and you're trying to keep up with the 22-year-olds. That's when you get toasted.
The Blue Jays get to be fans like the rest of us, looking at the Yankees-Red Sox series. The Red Sox take game 1. Do you get a sense of who the Jays would like to face if they had their choice?
No one will say it out loud, but I think Red Sox would be the pick. The Yankees have just been the big brothers of this division for so long. And the Yankees at least have one thing they're truly great at, which is power. It's hitting home runs. The Red Sox do have Garrett Crochet. We just saw how fantastic he was. But the Yankees have Max Fried. They have a good rotation, too. When I look at playoff teams like this, they're all good. Well, in the AL, they're good. In the NL, I think they're great. The AL's good. And I try to look for who has that one thing that can just wreck a series. And I think that's the Yankees, and I think it's their power. We did not see much of it in game 1 of the wild card series, but there will come a game eventually where Aaron Judge homers, Giancarlo Stanton homers, somebody else homers, and they win 10-1. Now, they better do that in a hurry before they get bounced, but that's a threat. And I think with the Red Sox, you're on more of an even playing field. I do think the Red Sox might have the best playoff manager going right now. I think Alex Cora is really, really, really good at what he does. But you can't replace star power, and the Yankees have a bit more of that. So the Yankees would still make me most nervous if I was the Blue Jays.
So in the lead up to the Jays kicking off their postseason run, I know there's a limit to players that you can call up, so they can't do anything there. But what about medical staff and trainers and masseuses? Are they just bringing in 5 to a player to just work on them and make sure their body is the best it possibly can be?
Oh, yeah. Everybody's here. AAA coaches are here. Even, Dan, during the season, middle of May, I see people every day. I have no clue who they are. And because there's so many fake jobs in baseball now. Yeah. And God bless them. All the power to them. I hope they all keep those jobs and enjoy them. But there's a lot of fake jobs in baseball now with big, complicated titles that never existed. And I always love being around like old school baseball people, like someone like Buck, for example. When he hears one of these new job titles, and you can just see him kind of seething, like he's a what? But there is no shortage of anything. The assistant to the assistant regional posture analyst is in town. It's every team in baseball is like this now. The Blue Jays, they've got to be near the top in terms of staff, resources, all of those types of things. So this is the season where, you're being careful with it. You also don't want to overmanage it. But, man, even me, Dan, I've been getting into a few of those, what are they, emergency packets? I can't get sick at this time of year. I can't afford to do that.
You won't get sick. Don't worry about it. Now, in the playoffs, a lot of hockey teams in the NHL, they put the entire team in a hotel. So to further the bond, so they're like no distractions. You don't have to worry about the kids getting you up, anything like that for the Blue Jays.
Man, not that I've heard, but if I had kids and I was in the postseason, I'd probably want to put myself at that Marriott and stay in there all day. Especially if you have kids. What time of year is it? October. Dan, this is how detached I am from the real world. I was just looking down at my calendar saying, is school in right now? It's October. Yes, it is. If you've got young kids, anyone who has friends with young kids or has had young kids knows that the moment your kids go to school, you are sick for the rest of the year because they take home everything. So if I was a Blue Jays player and I had a couple young kids going to school every day, I'm probably posting up at the hotel and spend my day at the stadium, play video games, and have a beer in the room at night, stay away from everything. But it's, man, that time of year, these things don't come around often.
I've got many kids going to many different schools, and fun fact, Keegan, I've only been sick once in my adult life.
Holy.
I had the original COVID. I'm pretty sure I couldn't get out of bed for 2 days, so that was when did COVID hit? February? March? No, it hit March.
I believe so, March
and I had it
7.
I had it in February. I was laid up for 2 days. First time I ever missed work, ever. Due to sickness.
Damn, they need to test you. Like there's some sort of gene in you, you know?
But here's the funny thing. If you go into looking at that on the internet is so effed up that I saw someone say, if you never get sick, that's a bad thing.
Oh,
you should
of course.
be worried. I'm like, come on.
Don't post about it. Someone will say you're microchipped and they'll come burn your house down or something.
Yeah.
Be careful out there.
The Blue Jays news, the only thing I saw was that they're going to play some inter-squad games this week.
Yeah, very exciting. Spring training, man. I'm being re-traumatized.
You know what they should? Sell tickets to that. People would come.
They are.
They are?
$10 a pop. People are going to be able to come down at 4 p.m. today, Wednesday, and tomorrow and sit in the lower bowl. And it's... other teams have done it first, not to take credit away from the Jays, but the Phillies and another team did it first, and they had the idea. But it's going to be open, and there was a very marketing based quote from John Schneider in the press release saying, "I want these fans to make this place loud," and I thought, okay, but it's going to be interesting. It's at least some sense of real baseball instead of sitting still for 5 or 6 days.
And you don't have to pay for a postseason ticket and you can be part of it. I love this. This is what baseball and all sports need more of.
It should be. Like this is like a step in the direction of like minor league baseball, which I consider to be the best dollar value in all of sports. Like getting to go to the ballpark for 10 or $20, that's as good as it gets. There needs to be more of that. But we'll see what they do. It's going to be 4 or 5 innings, and I think the wording was informal rules, which means like if they want Vladdy to bat 4 times in a row or get 5 strikes, they can. There's no umpires, there's no rules to this, but it'll be interesting. I'm not sure if anything's going to be broadcast. Probably every day of my life is broadcast on that network, but it's we'll see. But it's smart to give the hitters some real pitching to face. No matter how fancy your machines are, nothing beats a real pitcher. And also for the relievers and the starters, this is going to act as a pretty valuable day in the middle. And valuable for me, Dan, because I don't have to make anything up today. I can go in, people will actually speak. I'm all out of stories, sitting at home. So I guess I'm back to the ballpark. 2 days without a stadium, though. Pretty exciting.
And you must be sick of asking about Bichette.
Oh, God, yeah. And everyone else is sick of me asking about Bichette. Every year there's 2 or 3 things that, like, John Schneider and I just need to come to, like, an unspoken agreement of, like, hey, man, I don't like asking this. You don't like hearing me ask it. It's our jobs. It was Joey Votto for a while. It's been Anthony Santander for a while. Now
Joey
it's
Votto, my white whale.
Oh, my goodness. He's still ramping up somewhere. But Bichette, all that matters, Dan, is if he's running. And a lot's been made the last week of, he's hitting a bit more. In the cage, he is taking ground balls. None of that matters. It only matters if he's running. Because he does not need to be a shortstop. I don't think he'll be a shortstop when he comes back. DH makes a lot more sense to do it more quickly. But until he's running, I mean, unless he hits a home run, he's got to do that. So until I see that, it's going to be really hard to make any sort of timeline. And I think he's still fighting a bit of an uphill battle to be ready for this ALDS. It would surprise me if he is. I don't mean that as a, stunner, but I'm kind of 60-40 on it at this point. And when I write out our roster projections for the ALDS, I have not been including him, which, again, it's not a report, but when a guy's injured and I haven't seen him run, you got to prove it first. We haven't seen it, and I just hope for Bo that he can get back. He's been with his organization for a decade, hasn't been able to win a postseason game yet with Vladdy, and this could be the end for him. If he does not get back, that could be his last game with the Blue Jays. And I don't want that to be the ending for Bo. He means so much to this organization, but I'm around him a lot, and even though he doesn't dance and smile on the camera like people want him to, like, he really, really, really cares. He really gives a damn about this. So I'm hoping he gets a shot to at least end it his way if this is the end in Toronto.
When I saw him getting interviewed after the Jays won on Sunday, I kind of felt bad for him. I know he's very subdued, but you could get a sense that he was thinking, okay, I'm answering these questions, but I didn't do anything down the stretch because I didn't play.
Yeah, I think one of his quotes was, I enjoyed it just as much as if I was playing. I said, did you? I don't know.
Because he's so competitive.
So competitive and so intense when it comes to these things. Like, I've only covered the team since 17, so I haven't been around forever. But I've been around for Bo's whole career here, and I've never seen someone take more ground balls. I've never seen someone take this more seriously than Bichette does. A lot of that's the Marcus Semien tutelage that he had for that 1 year, but he really latched onto Marcus, and I see that in him. And it's what makes Bichette great. It's also what can challenge him at times. Like last year when he was dealing with those calf injuries and he was not hitting, he's referenced this multiple times himself, that he kind of ate himself up, that he can be his own biggest critic, and I don't think it's close. When you are that good, you demand it of yourself. And Bichette, Dan, outside of last year, you look at 2025, all of his previous MLB seasons, all the way through the minors, high school, middle school, he's always been really, really, really good. He's never really sucked at baseball. Most people have to suck at baseball along the way. He's barely ever done that, and it's awfully challenging when you're faced with that in such a big moment, having the game taken away from you, which is what he's dealing with now. So, man, I hope he gets this shot. It's better for the story if he does.
Have they listed the exact injury? We know it took place on that slide at home at Yankee Stadium. Is it just a severe bruise? There's no crack or anything.
It's nothing's broken. It's a left knee sprain, and I think the PCL. So along with the ACL and the MCL, it's not that, it's the PCL, I believe. And my understanding as an amateur doctor, I guess, is some of the challenge is the movement side to side and, of course, running with that. So that was a weird one. That game, Bichette finished it. I think it was September 6th. He finished that game, and it was kind of like, oh, he's good. He got cut up. Everything's fine. And I didn't think we'd be talking about this on October 1st, but looks like probably talking about it for a while longer, too.
You mentioned postseason lineups. I hate to be that guy and cast out any negativity, but is Santander going to be in the lineup?
I think he'll be on the roster.
Yeah,
I don't know if he'll be in the lineup every day. I think he's the guy that you have to mix and match with. Now, Anthony Santander, is he an every single day batting fifth player right now? I don't think so. I think he is that player And he's still worth every dollar the Blue Jays signed him to. I think that's a great contract. I think he's a really good player. This year has just been kind of screwy for him. You know, he's been out for so long. You're trying to catch up, and suddenly you're not facing AAA rehab pitchers. You're facing, Garrett Crochet, pitching better than anyone's looked all year. That's rough. So I think the Blue Jays need to target a certain type of game for him. Maybe there's a situation where one day against a lefty or a certain righty, Davis Schneider is in the lineup. But if you get the right-handed pitcher, so Santander can swing lefty, maybe you find a spot. Out of a best 3 of 5 series, maybe there's 2 games in there. Or you have Santander on the bench, and when they bring in their big right-handed closer, that's when he comes up and hits for, goodness, who would he be hitting for? Not many at this point in the lineup, but if it's a Schneider, someone getting turned around, you have him as a bench bat option. I think he's played his way back onto the roster, and credit to him, but it's still a real tough spot where how much can you, not trust him, but how much can you ask of him, given how much time he's missed? Coming back, and one of his first games is going to be the ALDS. That's pretty rough.
Yeah. Keegs, you've got a few fun days ahead. Stress-free. You get to watch some fun baseball, and I have a job for you. When you see someone on the Jays staff you don't know, you've never seen, go up to them and say, "Who are you and what do you do?"
I'll just be way more direct and rude about it. Like what's your purpose, man? What the do you do here? Because it's amazing. I especially get it in the media dining room, Dan, which is quite full of club staff. That's the polite way I'll word it. And every day, it's like they spawned 20 new ones. All, of course, being an MLB front office, all dressed quite similarly. And
it is Rogers. They have the technology.
They do. They have people spawning technology. They just press a button and out come 20 more 23-year-olds who understand charts that I don't understand.
Let me guess.
Amazing.
Jays golf shirt and gray pants.
You got it. The gray, maybe a tan, but it's
a tan. Yes, sorry,
polo,
tan pants.
Quarter zip. It might be more quarter zip season right now. It's cooling off, but it's man, you can pick them out 10 miles away.
I love it. Enjoy your week, my friend.
You got it, Dan.
Thanks for watching Toronto Sports Rush on the Bet Rivers Network.